Welcome back to Air Power, ladies and gentlemen. Back here, this is the Kill Bill katana that we did a cutting with earlier. The tsuba was loose on it. You can see now it has a very slight wiggle to it, but it's not rattling like it was. I probably should have showed that earlier on camera, and I probably should have did this on camera, but I didn't think about it until it was too late. I was more concerned about getting this tsuba tight back on here. So I'm going to kind of explain that to you. So I took the two pins out. Here's one. And there's the other. I took them out with a little bitty Allen wrench I have. And just tapped them out with a hammer. You have to be careful which way yours are in. I really don't know how to tell you that. I just know which way mine are in, because they would barely move going one way, and the other way they moved pretty easy, because these pegs are tapered. They're supposed to be anyway. So take those off, and you may have to get, like, I left it in the shop. It's a rubber mallet, and I put my thick rags or towel in a vise, put my sword in a vise, and I tapped on the tsuba all the way around until it broke loose and all this came off. And I took the tsuba where it goes into the blade, and I took a nail punch where it goes into the blade right on the edges and barely tapped them until you mar the edges up. It's the same thing. You might see it already done to your tsuba from where the manufacturer had to do it to fit it to the blade snugly. You do it enough where it gets burrs on there, where it gets snug and tight on there, and you may have to use your rubber mallet to get it all the way up and seated. Don't forget your other SEPA goes on before your tsuba, and it tightens on up for you there. Since we hit the wooden peg with this, what I want to do is put the edge back on it. There's no edge damage to it. It cut into that wooden peg pretty deep after hitting the pool noodle. But I'm going to put an edge back on here. Let's take a look. So what I have here is, I believe this is a 4,000 grit stone on this side. It's a medium and coarser on the other sides, but I'm not going to use those because this blade's already kind of sharp. I'm just going to use a little water on here. Put the blades at a very slight angle and pull it across, holding that angle. Do that about 20 times on each side. Trying to hold it straight every single time at that same very slight angle. You guys might have a bad view, but it's kind of the best I got right now. I've already done this a little before I took it apart. But yeah, you don't want a real steep angle on it. I found that when I tried steep angles on them, it kind of takes away the edge more than it does putting the edge back on it. Takes away from that geometry that's on it, and it's not good for it. So just make sure you don't have you don't want a real big steep angle on it. You barely want it on there, angled. And we had the Unokubi Sakuri blade and this Kill Bill Ronin katana blade because the Musashi bamboo fast cutter blade is no longer mine, because my daughter has been wanting a katana, and I sharpened one of her knives for her that looks like they've been throwing in trees, or her boyfriends have, or something. Anyway, they've been misusing their knives, which I can't really say much. I kind of abuse some of these katanas and stuff myself, but they kind of misused it and it had bad edge on it. I got her blade back sharp. Went there and cut some paper for her, showing her it was sharp, and she was happy. Then went and showed her that my katana cuts it just the same, it's just as sharp. She was like, "Quit showing off with your katana, you know I've been wanting one." So I come back in here, grabbed the Musashi bamboo fast cutter, grabbed the certification for it, carried it in there and handed it to her. And she was just so joyful and happy because she just kind of woke up, and she's like, "That is something great to wake up to, a katana." It's like, yeah, cool. I'm glad I can make her day, and I don't want to use a new target here. This is some pretty thick cardboard. Let's just do this. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty sharp already. Didn't take many passes on that. So yeah, this thing's already back to sharpen. It didn't take much to sharpen it because that dowel pen did not really hurt it much. And I'm just going to take some dabs of this ream oil. Remington, it's actually gun oil. But I'm not putting much on here. I put some in the floor. Guess oiling my carpet too. I just want to smear it on here for a minute with my finger. Try to keep my blades oiled up a little slightly. I don't recommend you do this with your finger and then end up cutting your finger and then blame air power. So you might not want to use your finger. This rag here is already oily. I'm using it from oil. So then I just want to take another dry rag and lightly wipe it off. Leave a little bit of oil on it. So there we go. There we go. The rattle is fixed. The sword is back to its sharpness here. And yeah, it's ready to go. I would really like to redo some of this saya because I'm just not happy with the dimples and ridges in it. So, alright guys, I just wanted to share that with you. Know I should have recorded taking it apart and doing the actual work. Didn't think about it. Sorry about that. And if I have that issue again with my other sword or anything, or my daughter has, I will try to remember to video that for you. Have a good night.